afternoon, everyone. So now we are the group 5 and we're going to discuss the chapter 8. Title about the trends and issues in teaching learners with difficulties speaking, hearing, and communicating. Communication is defined by Oxford Dictionary as the imparting or exchanging information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. It could be a factor of communication which is verbal, non-verbal, written, and visualization. The problem, however, with learners' communication disorder is the inability to detect, comprehend, and produce language, or may not even reach its receiver. No. Speech to engage in the discourse effectively. This would mean information or not even reach the receiver. The same concern is seen in a classroom in learning disability. We interpret information in a different way. And learners with a speech and language disorder may not produce sound, and speech not be able to express, and then important of teachers to understand learners' condition and characteristics. So the helping children with communication disorder and developing social communication, reducing challenging behaviors. As the study by Green 2017, he investigated strategies for children with communication disorders and how they can develop social communication and reduce challenging behaviors. The strategies that he found or he made is this. He has the three. The number one is consideration for collaborations for parents, teachers, service providers, and initial planning. Then the number two is the communication, modification, and the number three, the peer support. As children move from the toddler years to preschool years, they became better at regulating their emotions and frustration. Diba, kapag yung bata ay, halimbawa, nasa 2 to 3 years old, then, di ba kapag sinusulit-sulitan natin yung bata, madali siya umiiyak, madaling yung reaction or emotion ng bata, hanggang sa maging, example, dumating na siya ng school days or preschools, gano'n, preschools. And then, mag-change na yung, mag-develop na yung, magkakaroon na siya ng developmental changes and ang cognitive way or sa pag-iisip ng bata, yung emotion magbabago na kapag nag-grow na yung bata. And then, they become better in regulating their emotions and frustration because of the developmental changes in their cognitive functioning and the use of language. But for those with communication difficulties, this process can be more difficult, especially when it comes to regulating the emotions. Then the aforementioned strategies can be helpful in this case. So, in the number one, we have the consideration for collaboration of parents, teachers, and service providers in initial planning. So, collaborations among parents, teachers, and the other services providers play an important role during the initial planning of goals. The relationship between children with communication problems and the adult in their lives are crucial in their social and emotional skills. No? Bakit kaya na kinakailangan natin i-consider yung collaborations ng parents, teachers, and other bakit kaya kinakailangan natin? So, in this strategy, it is suggested that all those who are involved in the interacting with the child with communication difficulties reflect on their own views regarding the use of language and considered as well as the child's own perspective regarding frustration. ingana. So we need also the help of the teachers to find maybe or other strategy on how to communicate with mga natay. Mga strategy nga ginapakita para lang mas dali makasabot ang mga children na ay mga disorders sa communication. This can be helpful understanding and setting goals for children with communication difficulties. It is recommended that functional, social, emotional goals can be prioritized with their speech language goals. So not only the teacher has an obligation to that specific student, but also the teachers. So that student who has communication disorder, but also the parents has an obligation for him or for her. They need to collaborate to find ways or of strategy to help resolve the problem. So yun na nga, kinakailangan natin ng magtutulungan yung bawat ng bata with parents and teachers para mas mapadali or mas maging mabuti ang paghanap ng ways para ma-cope up ng children yung kanilang hapon. So number 2, we have communication modification. Children with social communication disorders may not be equipped with adequate language skills to make positive social interaction with peers. The use of communication modification are suggested. So, ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina na they are going to find way or they are going to find strategies so that that student or children that has communication disorder can communicate even they are suffering or struggling in that we have design language, diba? So if they cannot understand, misinterpret nila yung the way sa verbal na communication natin kasi merong mga bata na nagkakaroon ng communication disorder yung iba yung sinasabi mo pero yung ina-interpret nila iba din kaya iba yung resulta na ginagawa nila. So we have number 1 sign language, number 2 voice output devices, and the picture communication system. Kaya meron namang mga nagkakaroon ng communication disorder ka ng mga ama, di ba? Bumulpod ang kubano. Hindi ko sila mga kwan. So they need this sign language, either the picture communication system, pero dili siya kuwan sa number 2 sa voice output devices kaya bumulpod ang kuban. Di ba? So they are capable in using sign language, picture, or communication system. So in this strategy, it is suggested that all those who are involved in interacting with the child with communication difficulties reflect on their own views regarding the use of language and consider as well as the child's own perspective regarding caution must be under the communication modification, caution must be taken with the use of the technology. So either we are going to show them a picture and base output device as it may not always be appropriate for the child with communication problems. So kung meron talagang mga bata na nagkakaroon ng communication disorder, so kung ano yung dapat na mag-fit sa kanila, yun yung dapat na ibigay natin para sa kanila para masolusyonan yung or maging hindi sila ma-behind sa mga bata din na normal. So this method is intended to modify or enhance verbal attempts with sign language and picture communication is recommended. As children get to learn basic sign across all settings, their behavior will improve and this can help them understand choices. The use of the picture exchange communication system or PECS can be helpful in communication between a child with such difficulty and the target person we want to communicate with. So this communication modification refers to the simple words that you are going to use to your opponent or to the other person that you are talking about. For example, you're talking about children with communication disorder, then you're going